Hello from Brussels, I'm Mark Watts and welcome to WattsUp. Opposing the Russian invasion of Ukraine, boosting the economic recovery from the pandemic and rolling out the European Green Deal continue to dominate everything here in Brussels. In contrast to London, where uncertainty continues to prevail. The EU has been busy regulating, windfall taxing, subsidising, innovating and investing. In her recent State of the Union address, President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, outlined flagship initiatives which the Commission plans to undertake in the coming year. Continuing to strongly support Ukraine and its people, including mobilising the full power of the EU single market, putting in place measures to support Europeans in weathering the energy crisis and supporting the business environment are her priorities, together with measures to cut EU's dependency on Russian fossil fuels and working closely with what are called reliable suppliers. Let's have a quick listen to some of her speech.
Never before has this Parliament debated the state of our Union with war raging on European soil. This is not only a war unleashed by Russia against Ukraine. This is also a war on our energy. It's a war on our economy. It's a war on our values. It is a war on our future. It is about autocracy against democracy. And I stand here with the conviction that with the necessary courage and with the necessary solidarity, Putin will fail and Ukraine and Europe will prevail.
President of the European Commission there, Ursula von der Leyen. Well, EU ministers last week backed her proposed new emergency measures to tackle the energy crisis, including a mandatory target to reduce electricity consumption by 5% at peak hours, and two important new revenue-creating levies to help protect households and businesses through a windfall tax on the extraordinary profits made by some energy firms. Let's have a quick look at the reaction to the plan from the European Parliament.
As Europeans face skyrocketing energy bills, the European Parliament is backing calls for the EU to shoulder the burden of the cost. MEPs welcomed Commission proposals to reduce bills by redistributing excessive profits made by energy companies, but said it must go further. Parliaments called for better support for the most vulnerable consumers and businesses.
We kunnen mensen niet vragen nog zuiniger te leven, de thermostaat nog lager te zetten, nog korter te douchen, zonder de bedrijven die profiteren van deze crisis mee te laten betalen.
Members want EU countries to make sure Europeans are not faced with evictions and that their basic needs like affordable food, heating and transport are met. These measures should be part of a longer-term strategy of investing in renewable energy. Other measures to face the energy crisis include making buildings energy efficient across the EU. Parliament also condemned Moscow's weaponization of energy supplies and reaffirmed its support for Ukraine in the face of Russia's invasion.
Since then, the European Commission has announced further measures, including price caps on gas and further funding under Repower EU, to be discussed by EU ministers in the coming days. For transport, there will be an update of the EU's maritime security strategy, a new proposal on the digitalisation of travel documents, and important consultations on how to measure greenhouse gas emissions from transport and strengthening passenger rights, particularly for journeys involving more than one transport mode. On the subject of multimodality, look out for a new multimodal digital services initiative set to be adopted in the first quarter of next year. And that, of course, is on top of the Commission's Fit for 55 package and the Green Deal measures to decarbonise transport, which are on track to be delivered in the coming year. Completely changing the regulatory framework for transport in Europe and setting the bar high, of course, for global standards. No wonder a recent event organised by the British government here in Brussels, together with industry from the UK and the EU, to discuss efforts to deliver our shared commitments to decarbonise transport, generated huge interest and was a great success. ACTI was there representing our members, and we look forward to the next opportunity to promote efforts to move forward together to tackle our shared challenges. Indeed, talking of shared challenges, last week saw the first meeting of the European political community based on a concept championed by French President Emmanuel Macron, which saw the leaders of 44 European countries gather in Prague in a new format to address the many challenges facing the continent. The decision of UK Premier Liz Truss to take part could mark the beginning, perhaps, together with other positive signs, the beginning of a new reset to our relationships. The conciliatory music around the latest round of Northern Ireland Protocol talks, of course. The UK recently joining the EU's Permanent Structured Cooperation on Defence Cooperation, PESCO, and the decision to hold a UK-French summit next year after a gap of almost 5 years with an agenda to take forward, quote, a renewed bilateral agenda. They could all mark the beginning of a new positive phase, I believe, in the UK's post-Brexit relationship with Europe. We'll find out more. Tune in next time to WattsUp. Meanwhile, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, to share, and above all, comment. Goodbye.